Hi everyone, Artemiy is here, and today we're gonna be discussing the new Incredibox newsletter that we just got, and it involves the new features that we got in Incredimods, including the Incredimods moving to mod.io, and also the new trailer that devs have released, showcasing a lot of mods and stuff. I already read this newsletter, and there's one point in this newsletter, again, sorry for repeating myself, that I'm very concerned about. So yeah, let's read it. A new era for Incredimods, mod.io, new app features and best practices. I'm actually happy that the Incredibox team already got back to making newsletters because I kinda missed them. But yeah, hey modders, big news, the Incredibox modding adventure has just taken a major step forward. Over the past months we have been working hard to make modding easier, more flexible and more rewarding for everyone. Today we're thrilled to share what's new, what's changing and how we can all keep building this amazing community together. To celebrate, we have released a trailer on YouTube. As a surprise, there's a brand new soundtrack available for download in MP3 format, perfect for making a great mod, right? So yeah, like the Incredible Paul made like a little like a little song, a background song for the trailer, and he actually released like the sound separately, so people would be like, actually making their mods using these sounds, or maybe like expanding on it, like kinda how a lot of people wanted to do a similar thing with the official Incredibox trailer, but this time now we can do it ourselves. The song was fine, like I think it fits perfectly with the vibes that it has in the Incredimods, but yeah, even though if a lot of people are gonna do this whole Incredimods thing with this song, and I think it's gonna be that special. But yeah, I already watched the trailer and I think it looked pretty solid. Okay, a new home for modding, Incredibox x mod.io. All Incredimods now have a dedicated home on mod.io. This platform lets you upload, showcase and share your mods legally and safely, while giving players the easiest way to enjoy them. Instant visibility and engagement. Once you upload a mod, check the source checkbox and it goes live immediately. You can add trailers, screenshots, detailed descriptions, access stats and interact with your audience through comments. So yeah, this is one of the more cooler things that I like about mod.io that previous like Incredimods iteration was a bit iffy, is that when you submit your mod you still had to wait for the Incredibox devs to like check if all is good, because they need to check if it's compatible or not and if it will fit the Incredimods themselves. Now you can just upload it on your own, and even if it's not gonna be like fit the Incredimods themselves, like they have copyright, it's still gonna be on mod.io. And overall I think mod.io is a good place to like host all these mods, so like you have the whole library of mods to check out and not just like go through like YouTube links and stuff. And yeah, I think this one is a pretty cool change. Validation for in-app presence. Mods that meet our technical requirements and follow our guidelines can appear directly in the app, ensuring cross-platform compatibility for iOS, Android, PC and Mac users. Hundreds of thousands of users will access it in one click. So yeah, as I said, if the mod is like very good and it fits with the Incredibox guidelines, it's gonna be in the app itself. So the people that were not able to like play mods previously, like the iOS users, and they'll be able to play them. Featured mods. The feature tab in the app highlights the most polished, creative and high quality mods. Even if your mod isn't featured, it can still appear in other tabs once validated. So yeah, featured mods is just a little cool thing that Incredibox devs did to like showcase some like very special mods. Although with some ones I have a bit of a question, but whatever. Cross-platform accessibility. If a mod doesn't appear in the app for any reason, copyright, content, etc., users can still download it from your official mod.io profile link and import it directly into the app. So don't hesitate to share your mod.io profile on your social media. So yeah, like for example, mods like Spongu or the Grim Reaper, which my mods, they are not able to be like hosted on Incredimods, but you can go to mod.io and download the separate zip file and then import these mods in the game itself, and it's gonna be compatible. There are still links to like separate versions of the mods, which I'm actually gonna talk about it pretty soon. But yeah, next one is more freedom in app. We also rolled out new features within the app and modbox that give you even more flexibility. Sprite customization, adjust character sprite size or rotate them upside down. So yeah, now you can actually have like wider and taller characters. I don't know about like taller, but yeah, you can have wider and taller characters in the mod, and it is pretty good. And also like have polo upside down, which looks a bit weird, but still, it's a nice feature, and I think it allows a bit more flexibility. Flexible sound setup. Mods no longer need exactly 20 sounds, experiment with fewer for creative variations. I don't know if you can actually have 20 and more, because a lot of people would really want to have like more than 20 sounds, for example 24, but yeah, I still need to test this thing out. Stage foreground image. Display a transparent PNG in front of the post to customize the stage. So yeah, if you have seen my post on YouTube, you have noticed that Incredibox devs made some assets to a showcase that you can add different assets at the top and the bottom, and it looks pretty nice, and I honestly want them to implement it in the original game. Mod series. Organize related mods into a collection on mod.io, just like the Ebeder series. Once created, we can add it directly to the app. So you can also make your mod series and stuff. And this is just the beginning. We're continuously expanding the possibilities inspired by your suggestions. Keep sending us your feedback and ideas. We want to help you make your mods more flexible and expressive while keeping them fully compatible with the official app. Well, the next topic, I think it's gonna be... devs really need to take our feedback on that one. Alright, let's keep it official. We want to thank each of you who has been part of this modding journey from the start. You turned a fun experiment into a real creative movement, which is why we created Incredibox in 2009, and why we're still investing so much energy into giving you the best tools and visibility possible. We know APKs or other files have been a common way to share mods in the past, but you may also know that distributing a copyrighted game APK is illegal. This practice did not comply with our general terms of use, contribute to piracy and create confusion for players and risks by downloading unofficial files. It has been tolerated until now because we didn't want to cut the positive and creative energy we had around Incredibox, and this is why we worked so hard to find a legal way to let you continue building your mods. From now on, sharing APK, IPA, PC, Mac, etc. versions of the app both inside and outside mod.io is not tolerated anymore. Thanks to mod.io and the updates we made, modders and players have now an official and cross-platform way to create, download, and import mods. There are therefore no longer any valid reasons for using another distribution channel, so start guiding your audience to your profile page and spread your zip files. Hosting your mods official on mod.io ensures your work to remain fully under your control, highlighted and recognized officially. A larger audience can discover your work and players can download safely while staying fully engaged with the official app. This approach keeps a clear communication, maintains fair play, and preserves the integrity of the Incredibox experience for everyone. We're fully committed to giving you the best tools, the safest environment, and the most flexibility for your mods, because we have been incredibly proud of the talent and dedication you put into Incredibox. Seeing your work flourish motivates us to bring modding to the next level, and we are ready to focus on this direction. Thank you by advance for respecting the rules while building together a strong and sustainable community around our shared passion, the Incredibox team. Yeah, I will be honest. I'm not a really big fan of this change because kind of weird because previously when the mod.io thing was starting, Incredibox team were fine with us sharing the links to Mediafire to share the separate versions to us. But I guess with them adding a lot of these new features, they decided to cut this thing off, which I'm not a really big fan of this, honestly. First of all, there are still a lot of stuff that Ram's modern build is a lot more flexible with than the official Incredibox app. A lot of people want to customize their mods to feel much more unique, to have their own UI, different type of icons and etc. And I still think that the Ram's modern build allows a bit more flexibility with the characters. For example, you can have multiple animations inside of them, have a head animation and body animation, or other effects animation, etc., which official Incredibox doesn't have. And them just cutting this thing off is very bad, and I don't really like this at all. And I hope Incredibox team will actually listen to us this time. They have been very supportive with us, and I don't really like this change at all. I'm negative about this, about them just cutting off the APK and exe.files stuff. And I'm mostly talking about the Ram's modern build, not the other actual pirated stuff. The Ram's modern build I think is a really good thing, and it allows us for more variations. And talking about it, if Ram is actually working on a mod launcher thing, which will allow you to actually put your own mods in it and not download a lot of APK or exe files to actually actually host them, and it will make you to not like download a lot of .exe files or APKs just to play the mods. All you need to do is just download one app and just download a lot of zip files that contain assets to it without the exe file. And it allows for a lot more like, space, because, the exe files are actually very large, and a lot more like space to actually create it, because, even with that mod launcher, you still have a lot of features that RAM's modern build has. And yeah, essentially, Incredibox team is trying to do a similar thing, but I will be honest, like the mod launcher thing that RAM is making is a lot more flexible and a lot more cool. Like, for example, when you have like this tab of mods, you can actually add your own animations when you click on it, and it is real cool. And I hope maybe devs were gonna collaborate with them on actually implementing this mod launcher thing, because the reason why RAM is actually making this is because in 2026, like somewhere at that time, the Android is not gonna like support like unofficial APK files, and it's gonna be pretty hard for people to kind of download them. I hope it's not gonna be that big of a deal, and people will still find a way to like still use them. In some ways I understand what developers are trying to do, but for the most part, I don't really like this change. Especially, a lot of people are not really big fan how, like, the modders don't really get anything in response after, like, Incredibox just hosting their mods. Like, they don't get any compensation for it, even though it kind of doesn't really make sense, because, modding has always been a volunteer's job. But still, like, Incredibox kind of feels like they're just trying to gatekeep the modding by just putting them on the paywall, because, you won't be able to play mods if you don't have an app. I don't really like this change, like, at all. I have said it countless of times, but I just want to them remember that no, it's not a good thing, especially when, Ram kind of made a post about how she doesn't feel really satisfied with like home modding thing, and after like every other two, she might not make mods anymore, which is kind of a shame that, the modding, Incredibox modding is just kind of going down. But overall, that's it. That are the Incredibox newsletter that we have, and I hope that Incredibox team is actually gonna listen to us, and we'll try to like make some ways to still allow like the outside apps like from RAM's modding build, like maybe implement some stuff from the RAM's modding build, or just implement it officially to make it possible, because even though what they're doing is pretty nice, but people still want more flexibility. Like, they still want to like have their own UI and their own navigation, not just have their versions in the Incredibox. So yeah, that were my thoughts on the newsletter thing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and tell me in the comments what do you think about this. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.